And welcome back. He's Jesse Finney. I'm Chad Range. We are the Hit Squad, and you're watching us on 101sports.com. You can always email us, hitsquad@101sports.com. Twitter handle @hitsquad101ESPN. Well, in Toronto on September 21st, UFC 165. That's going to be a exciting card because Jon Jones, Gustafsson, Alexander Gustafsson, great matchup. Two bangers. I'm excited to see that. We're going to run down. We will not predict who we're going to pick. We'll do that next week. But we're just going to kind of touch on the card itself in Toronto. And we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up, just as we would with the predictions. We're going to start with Pat Healy, Caleb Nurmagomedov. Spell Nurmagomedov.
No.
Unbelievable. Can't do it, but yeah.
I can't spell it, and it's right here in front of me.
I could try to read it off. But Pat Healy, he's a guy that ran into the pot monster as well. So he's off the schneid, but I want to see him get back to his winning ways. I like Pat Healy. I like the way he's a tough kid.
He's a grinder.
He is a grinder.
He's a grinder, but he's fighting another good wrestler grinder. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. I think that Pat Healy's kind of got his hands full on this one because this kid overall might be a better wrestler. But right when Pat Healy, you start to doubt him, he makes you second guess for doubting him.
That is true.
I love it. And he's an SIUE grad. Okay, so you got to root for him here in St. Louis.
Absolutely.
And I got to tell you something. Pat Healy is, he's got to be kicking himself for the money that he lost for smoking the dope from before.
He went from like 160 to like 20 or 30,000.
Yeah, it was something like that.
It was, devastating. So I think he's got to be on a mission, and I would say that's kind of part of in his mindset.
Yeah, he's got to be on a mission. He's got to be out to go to redeem himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got to be, he's a guy that's grinded it out for years and worked his butt off and beat Carlos Condit. I mean, he's a guy that, and listen, I trained him for a couple years, and I got to tell you something. He was probably one of the least athletic people you ever meet in your life, and one of the hardest workers you'll ever meet. And you know what? There's a guy you want to root for. He is it because he's not the guy that's the most talented guy out there. He's a guy that's got to work for every single thing he's ever gotten.
An every man's fighter, kind of.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Costa Philippou, Francis Carmont. What do you see there?
A good strikers battle, man. That's going to be interesting, and a great matchup, as the UFC always does. It's a good matchup. They're not matching a wrestler versus striker or, a striker versus a jiu-jitsu guy. This is good. Two guys. It's a great matchup. They want to fight, stand and bang. I think there's going to be for fireworks on that one.
The fans win there.
Fans win always
as they always seem to. Brendan Schwab, Matt Matrone.
Man, one of these two is going to be gone. So,
they're fighting for their lives.
Yeah,
huh?
they are. And I tell you something, Brendan Schwab is a guy that I was super high on for a long, long time and has actually really disappointed me. And with someone with Mitrione, I think he's probably the most overrated fighter I've seen come out in years from the UFC. And I think that if he doesn't do something here, they're looking to get rid of him. He's always been kind of a problem child with the UFC. He's probably one of the better athletes, played pro football in the NFL. But Brendan Schwab is a guy that a great athlete as well, man. Played for, I think, University of Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. But he's got heavy hands, and I think I'm knocking him out.
Bren Bararu, Eddie Wineland.
These guys are working their way up, man. This is something you got to keep an eye on this matchup because these two they're going to be contenders after this fight.
Yep.
So whoever wins this fight will be in line for a title shot real soon.
You got a co-main event with Jon Jones and Alexander Gustafsson. You're going to be on the up and up.
Absolutely.
The winner who takes that one.
What I find interesting in this is there's not a lot of, usually when they do it in a big Toronto show like that, they have a lot of Canadians on there.
Absolutely.
And there's not a lot of Canadians on this one. On the main card, which I find kind of
interesting.
Carmont is, but I think it's like
they
usually load it up with the Canadians, which I think is a great idea because those Canadian fans are huge, passionate guys. But this will be interesting. I want to see how their attendance shakes out here after next weekend.
It'd be interesting to see how the Canadians do against like the American, kind of run the numbers of who's kind of winning as far as the
Kevin Fowler. Let's get you on there, buddy. Canadians versus U.S.
He loves the work that we give him on air here. And then, of course, we already touched on it a little bit in the first segment, but I'm very excited. Jon Jones, Alexander Gustafsson. The funny thing is, it's two strikers going at, this is, you would think it favors Jones.
It always favors Jones. But, man, Gustafsson's bigger than he is and longer than he is. And usually Johnny Bones Jones isn't used to that. That's how he usually plays the advantage. This could be an upset in the making. I'll tell you something.
You said that before. You have said that, absolutely.
I don't see, wrestling is going to dictate the fight. Johnny Bones Jones is a better wrestler. Now, I'll tell you something. Gustafsson is no punk.
No,
okay?
no.
And a lot of people out there think that he's just like some, he's
Guy
from
who
Sweden.
yeah.
He's not that good,
Sweden.
man. He's not. Yes, he is, man. He is that good. He can crack, and he's a tough guy. So this isn't an easy matchup for Johnny Jones. So we'll see.
And I'm sure Glover's taking a look at this one, and he'll watch
he's
this
fighting,
one.
He's fighting. I want to see Glover take care. I've been selling this for a year and a half that we were on the radio, man. I want to see Glover versus Johnny Bones Jones.
But like you said, Jones cannot look past Gustafsson.
Absolutely not.
15 wins, 9 coming by knockout. The interesting thing is, I've always been of the school that, man, if someone's going to beat Jones, they're going to have to out-wrestle him. But this is not what we're getting in this matchup.
No,
It's going to be a striker.
It's a striker, and if someone's going to beat Jon Jones, it's be a good jiu-jitsu player.
Unless someone just throws a haymaker and lands one.
And
This
right
is the guy
here,
who can.
Technically striking, you watch these 2 hit pads, I guarantee you, Gustafsson looks more impressive, and he's a better striker, technical striker. But how can you bet against Johnny Bones Jones at striking? I don't get. I mean, you really can't.
He's got those legs that just go on forever. Knees, elbows, he's got it all. And of course, we'll be making the predictions next week at this time. Join us then. So next segment, we're going to be tackling some good questions from the Knuckle Junkies. I look forward to that. You're watching us on 101sports.com.